Good morning.
Good morning, Mark.
How are you?
Fine. Nice to meet
Uh,
you.
I am already awake for an hour, but I think I didn't have my morning coffee or something. I see that I need to freshen up a bit in the camera.
Okay. Look, I work in agriculture. You work in agriculture too, and we get up very early. Yeah.
Yes,
We have
yes.
time to prepare our face.
No, exactly. No, which is very true. But nevertheless, thanks for this opportunity, Victor, and thanks for the good work. You're doing really a nice job in promoting our potato sector.
Thanks so much. I want to change something in the world. And I
Yes,
think so. What I do, maybe a little part, but I put for change for food security around the world because what I see when I start COVID, yeah,
yes,
I work in a Russian magazine, Potato System. We write about potato in Russian language,
yeah,
and I start much more see information in the internet, and
yes.
I understand if I want to know how growing, what processing in around the world, it's so big problem. Yeah, oldest website Potato Pro, Potato News Today. It's very oldest website. But when I start working, I see that website changes and step by step. For me, it's not for me, it's not problem. If I have to change Potato Pro,
Yes,
I mean,
yeah.
Potato Pro looking for what I do and Potato Pro changing, for me, it's very good because you have good information. Yeah,
Uh,
it's your choice. What do you read? Look,
True.
you are from Netherlands, yeah?
Yes.
You born in Netherlands, and how many years you live in Netherlands before you come in Africa?
Yeah, that's a good question. Thank you. No, so I lived. Now I need to use my calculator, Victor. But no, from 2019, I start traveling to Africa intensively. So I think in 2018 I did my first travel to Kenya, so the eastern part of Africa, of course. And I was really impressed. I was not so impressed by good agricultural practices of farmers, frankly saying, but I was really impressed about the opportunities that are there. So especially if you look at the eastern part of Africa, they have very fertile land. They have a lovely rainy season. They have beautiful climate. The altitude is very nice. Um, and then you see farmers struggling, and that yeah, in a way, really hurts your potato heart. So my parents are potato farmers in the Netherlands, in Noordoostpolder, 5 meters below sea level. There you have, well, other struggles, so to say. So I think every cultivation season you have your own challenges, so to say. But if you then look at the average yield that we can achieve in the Netherlands, and if you look at the beautiful soils over here and the huge opportunities, then yeah, frankly saying, so that's not an abuse. It's really not meant to be, but it is more, well, looking at the huge opportunities that are there. So from 2018, I started traveling a bit to Africa. So I worked at that time for a mechanization company to do worldwide sales, especially in potato processing, as well as carrots, onion, that kind of crops. But my specialism was always potatoes, due to, well, my background with my parents, of course, but then I worked 8.5 years at Agrico, the sweet potato company in the Netherlands. Um, yeah, so when I traveled to Kenya, I thought, what can we do with those opportunities? And I had a blessing to start with Delphi. That was the formal extension service of the Dutch government. privatized, and was very interested to enter also the African market because they also saw the opportunities. So I set up, or I helped, the project was already set up, but I helped over there, well, setting up a professional potato value chain in Rwanda. So I traveled quite often to Rwanda to set it up over there, and the potato area in Musanze in Rwanda is bordering the Ugandan potato area, the biggest. So there are more potato areas, but the biggest is there. And yeah, then automatically you start to search for new opportunities. So I traveled there a couple of times. I was able to get a project over there as well. Then I met my wife here in Uganda. Well, at that time, not my wife yet, but nowadays my wife. So yeah, we said let us see how we can make from a dream reality, so to say. So what we did is in 2022 I set up my own company, Dieleman Potatoes, and it's my aim to import high quality certified seed potatoes. To make sure that the quality is, well, with that certificate, good. We are now importing marquise together with Agrico from Kenya. So in Kenya, there is a big multiplication farm from where Agrico is part of, Agrico PSA. They import 10 containers from the Netherlands, multiply them over there, and then yeah, it's checked by KEFAS. KEFAS is the controlling party in Kenya. They really set up a nice structure. So independent people are coming and visit the farm regularly to check, okay, are you ticking the boxes? Are you really making sure that your potatoes that you multiply are suitable for to be shipped under the classified certified seed potato measurement and having a certificate. So we are importing them. I'm very happy. It was a bit a struggle. We will talk about it later, I think, but there were some struggles along the way. But no, it was really lovely to see that we now did our first shipment of the first 20 tons here in Uganda. So yesterday I was already planting the first fields. So we are honored to start this journey. So the journey started in a way to get the right documents, do everything official. So I missed 2 seasons, unfortunately, due to learning. And now finally we have them in Uganda. So we are blessed, Viktor.
Look, for first time, I speak for people who looking with video. we speak with Mark Dieleman, over company Dieleman Potatoes from Uganda. Yeah. Look, Mark, last year I visit Australia Potato World Congress and speak with President Potato Congress, Mr. Peter van der Zak. He's family born in Netherlands and right now working in Canada, and we speak potato. If my mate said potato map, I mean growing where start growing potato, professional potato, some changing. Last year I visited Egypt and I see much more project for growing potato in Egypt. Yeah, and one company said we start import French fries in Europe. Yeah, and I see so much more changing in India, growing potato, in China, South America start to growing processing potato. What situation in Africa? You working in Uganda, Rwanda? It's country what some have food problem, yeah, and you doing very good job, yeah, because you sent me yesterday photo and video what you do. You learn farmer in Uganda how need to grow in potato for take good harvesting, big harvesting. It's very important, yeah. And what situation in Uganda? In Uganda, small farmer, big farmer. What problem for Uganda?
No, so in Uganda, what you see is so I think if you look at Africa, there are a lot of countries that are struggling with water. So it is a big continent. Let's say that at first. So if you look on the world map, I think you even don't realize how big Africa in general is. But if you look at the eastern part, so I basically look at Kenya, Tanzania, Uganda, Rwanda, South Sudan, that are really cultivating areas. So they are not struggling with water. They have the Nile, of course, and Lake Victoria, where a lot of water is already stored, frankly saying. But you see huge growing areas, though here it is a bit hilly. So Uganda also has parts with mountains, with well, not flat land, so to say. So there are here parts where it's very dry. But basically, if you look a little bit, so bordering the Kenyan part, we have a big potato area in Kapchorwa. There it's a bit more flat. But everything here is basically smallholder farmers. So farms from, well, 1 till 5 acres. So let's say 2.5 hectares, so to say. That is really the average. So you don't see very big farms. So as far as I know, there are 3 big farms over here. Perhaps we can say 5, but 2 are not active. Meaning that yeah, you challenge a bit another way of cultivation. And it's really, well, like I mentioned before, I think here we have very fertile soil, especially if you go a bit more in the west, in Uganda, you have volcano soils. Well, as you know, that is really very fertile soil. Though farmers are still struggling with an average yield of 8 tons estimated per acre. So that will be 16 tons, a little bit more perhaps an hectare. And that is looking at the circumstances where they are cultivating in, really a pity. And I think that the challenges here are basically good inputs. So they use very old varieties multiplied for a very long time. So diseases and yeah, well, the ones that survive are the strongest, of course. But if you have an average of 8 tons an acre, well, then you can say, Mark, you are saying best soils, good water, and that is your yield. And also good input. So I truly believe that potatoes over here are cultivated yeah, without proper crop rotation. Due to the climate, you can cultivate here always, especially if you have irrigation, which not a lot of farmers yet have. So they are depending on rainfall. They are rain-fed agricultural farms over here. Yeah, so you see a different kind of climates here in East Africa with huge opportunities. We see that in Kenya because they registered more varieties already, more improved varieties, have availability of better crop protection, so better spraying inputs to fight especially late blight. So yeah, as we all know, as potato lovers, I think late blight is our biggest challenge. Good manageable if everybody manage it properly. Here there are a lot of smallholder farmers and they have especially financial struggles to already upfront for example, buy their seeds, then they are bankrupt, then they need to wait for additional money. Or the neighbor dies and they need to contribute. So yeah, they can easily forget or skip first sprayings. Yeah, and if a whole area is doing that, then the pressure of late blight is really huge. Then yeah, also hygiene I think is a struggle. So black rot, all that kind of things are here a bit more common, unfortunately. Yeah, and if you cultivate without crop rotation, then soil diseases are easily entering. So I think there are here some challenges. I don't want to blame the farmer, but I think there are also huge opportunities for new varieties, improved varieties, to really increase here yields. Then I come back a bit on your initial question, how is the cultivation? So I think we are cultivating here really a lot of crops. So it's always a bit complicated to say, but normally I say due to the climate and due to the availability, dying of hunger here is a bit complicated. In other parts of Africa, where there is more drought, I understand that that is completely different. But here you see that there is really a huge cultivation. Though, for example, Uganda is still importing potatoes. They have enough soil. If they would use improved varieties with higher yields, then I truly believe that we can cultivate here with irrigation a year round, and we are easily able, sorry, to produce our own consumption at least. So there are huge opportunities, and yeah, that is where we are looking at. Step by step, every country has its own challenges. Every country is facing its own ideas about developing the potato sector. Though I think, and you mentioned it already also in your own introduction, I truly believe that potato can contribute. So maize is here the main crop. Most of the people are eating here products daily related with maize as their basic source of income. Source of food. Yeah, and that is accordingly to me. If you look at the yield that you are harvesting with maize and the yield that you can harvest with potatoes, that they are also already used to use for food. But then a bit more, yeah, it's a bit more luxury. If you want to have a bit more variety, they easily enter with potatoes. But yeah, if you can improve your yield, then it is then with less acres you produce more. So yeah, I'm looking to a brightful future, but there are some challenges along the way, Victor.
Look, Mark, question about varieties. You're working with Agrica company, yeah?
Yes.
And I don't know what's domestic in Uganda or Rwanda, domestic varieties potato. Maybe you said, and what's much popular in Agrica varieties in your area? What size, what color most popular? Example, in China, most popular yellow potato, big size, yeah?
Yes.
And what's popular in Uganda varieties and
Yeah, in
size?
Uganda, they also like big potatoes. I see in Africa that people normally truly well
For 1
like
kilo,
big
yeah?
potato. Yeah, but not the big size as you mentioned on the camera yet. But yeah, there are some varieties also in our package that would really suit the size that you are saying. No, so here it is basically rangume and kenigi what is grown. That is a round, a little bit a smaller red-skinned potatoes with deep eyes. It's a very old variety, but it is quite strong to late blight. So yeah, that is the only one that survived here. But it has a very high dry matter, sorry, a very low dry matter content. So it is not very suitable for processing, and yield is not so nice in a way. But yeah, it's a strong one, eh? So it survives. So yeah, it is the challenge of the fittest. And that is what they do here. I deal in Marquise at the moment. Marquise is the only variety that is officially registered. So I only, of course, deal in official registered varieties. We are working with Manitou. And Manitou is a red skin variety, but then bigger. So it has a little bit less tubers. So 8 till 12, something like that. But it really gives you a nice yield. And we see in Kenya so the market in Kenya and Uganda is a bit similar. And especially for the traditional market, which I think is still 98% of the total, still the traditional market is really demanding that kind of variety. Then HZPC is entering here with Taurus. That is a bitter crisp variety. So there is already here a processing plant in Chrysaps, Psalms Foods. And they produce a bit nowadays, but yeah, you see that Taurus is really suitable for that. Though I think the market, frankly saying, for me is a little bit too small to also dig into that. So I first want to focus on Marquise. Marquise is very suitable for French fries. So it also is long oval. It doesn't give so many tubers. So it here we see that it's quite a number of tubers, though still able to cultivate very big ones. And yeah, that is of course lovely for French fries. So they import here a lot. KFC is, I think, here the biggest chain at the moment. They import all their deep frozen French fries. Happily, in Bale, also a Dutch company is now building a plant to process. And I know for sure that we will cooperate with Marquise because, yeah, it's a lovely variety to process, especially for them. So yeah, we happily already in 2018 did the first trial with Marquise. Farmers really loved it, though the struggles along the way, Victor, well, there are two worlds. So there is a governmental world with politics and with that kind of things, and there is a world where farmers are living in, struggling with their own challenges. Yeah, they cultivated Marquise very well, so the demand is quite high over there. But yeah, risks are also a bit there. So I try to do it in a step-by-step approach, because yeah, I'm a starting company. Unfortunately, not with very big investors behind me that say, Mark, I transfer the millions and you import and you try and whatever. So yeah, we need to face the reality, and that is that there is a high demand. That happily there is a factory there. I see that all the restaurants here, Victor, yeah, I still don't believe it, but all the restaurants here hire people, so labor is not so expensive here. Hire people peeling potatoes every day again, and frying their French fries themselves. So there are very little restaurants that already are using deep frozen French fries, long chips. So I know for sure there is a beautiful market, as you know, as we all know, as potato people. Market can be there, interest can be there, but at the end it is about sales. It's about commitment. It's about showing what you agreed. Yeah, and that is the phase where we are in right now.
Look, it's very interesting. So you're eating slow food, not fast food.
Yes.
It's very good. Uh, I see your wife is most active in a social web network, yeah, in LinkedIn, posting
Yes.
much more photo, video information what Dieleman Potato doing in Uganda and Rwanda. And if it's possible, you open a secret. What do you have planned for next 5 year for your
Yes.
company?
Yeah.
If it's possible, open
Yeah,
small.
no, of course. No, no, I don't have secrets, Victor.
Okay.
I truly believe that. So, Victor, I forgot to say, we need to realize Uganda has 60 million people here. And if you look at the indications from the World Health Organizations and that kind of things, Nigeria, Uganda, there are some other countries are aiming, they forecast that the population will grow and grow. So I look at that as a big opportunity. But from those 60 million people, if everybody would consume one kilogram in a year, the market is already so huge that me as Mark Dieleman with Dieleman Potatoes can never fulfill their wish. So I truly look forward to strong cooperations with also other suppliers. I'm really not aiming for a monopoly. Of course, I want my own part, Victor, but I truly know for sure that there is a huge market. We are very happy to see that. So if you ask me, how do you see Dieleman Potatoes for the coming 5 years? Thanks for that question. We now first imported our 20 tons, so that is very nice. But happily, I can cooperate with a very serious company like Agrico, with their own vision, and they really want to grow together with us. So they have a big farm in Nakuru where they have the capacity to scale up easily. So what I foresee the coming seasons is that I increase by truck. So hopefully coming season we can do already our first two trucks. Then perhaps we can go to 3 or to 4, depending on the agreements we can make. But I truly think that it's not about demand, it is about availability, and it's about success. So those first 20 tons are always the most critical ones. Because we need to make a success together. So the coming 5 years, hopefully, I can start earning a bit of money. Then I want to invest at first in one or later on more agronomists. So I also participate in other companies to make sure that we can also pay our own electricity bills and the rent and etc. So I believe that as soon as we can make a bit of money, we hope to help and assist the farmer in cultivating their varieties in a better way, with assistance, with help. And then hopefully, so I look a bit in a step approach. I hope to achieve it in 5 years. Let us see how the journey is. What I see, Victor, is that the farmer here is not having any access to the market. So it is always the middleman who will buy their potatoes. And that middleman is owning a truck normally, or renting a truck, traveling to the areas, loading the potatoes. And you know, as all of us, how a potato sector works. So I relate it to my own dad. As soon as he see his neighbor preparing his planting machine, as soon as he see that the other neighbor is traveling with boxes of sweet potatoes, my father becomes nervous. So even it can rain or the land is not suitable, but he becomes nervous. That is something that we have as human beings. If we see that our neighbor is planting, we also want to plant. And those middlemen know that exactly. So they know when are the farmers planting, they know when are they harvesting. So everything comes together, and that is really a pity. So how I look at the sector at the moment is I truly hope that in a couple of seasons I am able with Dieleman Potatoes to say, okay, we have here a premium variety, Marquise. I can offer you already a contract. So guaranteed if you cultivate the potatoes in the way that we agree, that we want, the big potato size, I can offer you already upfront a specific amount that I can, guarantee you. So you get 50 cents, for example. I'm just saying, or 20 cents or whatever, but I give you a specific amount if you cultivate them in the right way. If you can sell them for a higher price in your local market, be my guest. Don't you worry. But you have a guaranteed offtake if you cultivate them in the right way. And then I would transport them to Kampala and sell them here, or make agreements with a processing factory. So I hope that at first we can deliver the farmer high quality certified seed to start that journey already with good inputs. I hope to cooperate, of course, with serious input suppliers for crop protection, for fertilizer, for drip irrigation, because I truly believe that if farmers are already going to improve, the 8 tons now can be easily 16 till 18 tons with our variety, so they can double their yield already the first season. Then hopefully I can rebuy them and sell them ourselves, or make agreements with off-takers, serious off-takers. Then phase 3 is hopefully that we can do professional storage. So I truly believe that there is a big gap. So yes, there are storage locations over here, but from my point of view, never able to fill the gap, which is not so long. We saw it in Rwanda. Storing over here is not easy. So you first need to, because of the climate, here potatoes always enter your storage. Yeah, you harvest during the day, they heat up a bit, so you have them, the internal temperature is between 26 till 30 degrees. So you first need to cool them down with a lot of hot air, and nobody here is using hot air in that way. But you really need to make sure that they are good and dry, and then you can cool them down till the temperature that you want. And from my perspective, but I am not a storage specialist, so I will cooperate with those people. Don't you worry. But from my point of view, we need to have 2 cells. The one where we can cool them down in steps, and the other one that is already in the nice temperature, so that we can move them and that we have a daily stock. So in Kenya, you have a company that's called Twiga Foods, which is really successful in a logistic system, where you call today, or you order your fruit and vegetables on day A, and you get them delivered in day B, so the next day deliveries. And I believe that there is a big market in there. So you call today Dieleman Potatoes, and the next day you always have your French fries. Then step 4 can be a stronger collaboration with processing factories. to make it more professional. But from my point of view, I first want to focus on step one, that is importing high quality seed potatoes that really can make the difference. And building that brand. So farmers at the end need to understand the difference. And yeah, if you are going to buy a car, you also don't buy a car from internet. You want to see it, you want to touch it, you want to, okay, you can buy it from internet, but at the end, you want to have that that feeling, and you will never buy an unknown Chinese car from internet. Not so. So you need to have experience, and that is what we are doing. In phase one of Dieleman Potatoes, we are importing. We are making sure that the potatoes are in Uganda, which is really from my point of view at least, but perhaps others are smarter, but it is really not easy. That is the reason why I think that a lot of seed potato companies are not here yet. That is really a pity from my point of view, and a huge opportunity for the government here in Uganda to make it easier possible to enter the market with registration. Of course, you first need to register. But with those high quality registered potato varieties, we can really make the difference. We can really make success for the smallholder farmers, but they need to see, they need to get the knowledge. We need to travel to them to show how you from our perspective plant potatoes, and we need to cooperate. So that is perhaps an important part to say. I'm speaking a lot about Dieleman Potatoes and perhaps giving you the impression that I know everything. I truly understand that I don't know nothing of the really specific characteristics of cultivation on the plot of the single farmer. So I truly believe in a cooperation, a strong collaboration between the farmer and between Dieleman Potatoes. And that is the reason why I already mentioned. So I don't believe that I'm only the supplier, so to say. The supplier in a way that, okay, I get them in Uganda, you can come to my shed, you buy them, we give a high five, you sign a contract, and good luck with it. I truly believe that we have a longer process where we also need to invest in sharing knowledge, in experience together, and finding a cultivation way that suits here the Ugandan farmer. And the farmer in the east, in Kapchorwa, is already a complete different farmer than a farmer in Fort Portal or a farmer in the west, in Kabale, Kisoro area. Because there they cultivate on volcano soil, on hills. So you can think, let us bring a tractor. I don't know where you are going to drive those tractors. So there you need to come up with another type of mechanization. And I know for sure that together in collaboration with the people over there, we can find suitable solutions to make it better. That was a long answer, Victor, sorry.
No problem. Mark, thank you for your job. It's really because my job is inform about people how you who working and not much more blah blah blah. Yeah, but I see you're doing it's very hard work. Yeah, and you help the people in Uganda and Rwanda to food security. And maybe you want to speak people company who looking with video and want interesting Uganda Rwanda market and want to cooperate with you. We made to post in with video your contact email, and company make contact with you and help people in this beautiful country. I see much more photo and video about this country. Maybe next year I have time to visit Africa and visit your company and prepare a good report about your work. Please,
would be lovely.
not much more words. Invite people and company in Uganda and Rwanda and cooperate with you.
Yes. No, very true. So, like I mentioned already earlier in our conversation, but I truly hope to cooperate. So I truly believe that we need to do this together. There are enough challenges, I can say, that people are facing, that companies are facing. Unfortunately, the millions are not flying into our bank account, which is fine. So I have trust in future. Though I think the challenges are already so big that cooperation is the only way forward. We need to do it together, and we need to respect each other's areas. So I'm really open into all kinds of cooperations. Because I truly think that we need to do it together. And if you run as a team, there is also a moment for resting. And if you run alone, then yeah, your knowledge and whatever is only compiled to yourself. So I truly hope if people are looking at this and find it interesting, even if they only visit Uganda, always contact me. We are not able to always join, but at least we can help people to make it a success. And especially to you, Viktor, thanks for your great work here on this platform to make to inspire hopefully a lot of people. At least I feel always inspired by articles, by knowing what others are doing, what struggles other people are having, all that kind of things. So thanks for your work, and I truly hope that one day you come and visit Uganda, and then don't forget to contact me. Of course, then we travel together to our beautiful fields of Marquise potatoes. Yeah.
Thank you so much. Thank you for your family, for your wife, to help people around the world know about your company, Dieleman Potatoes.
Yes.
Thanks so much.
Thank you so much, Viktor.